Tonight on the MTN News, critical cuts.
If kids aren't getting their mental health taken care of, then they're not going to care about school. They're not going to care about anything at that point.
Billings schools eliminating a mental health program with school quickly approaching. And a rally for the YAM.
It's not just a cut to the museum. A funding cut means less opportunities for the arts for our entire community.
Why supporters of the Yellowstone Art Museum took to the streets today. Plus, a legendary tradition returns to downtown Billings. The MTN News starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Well, good evening and thanks for joining us on your Friday night. I'm Russ Riesinger. Art lovers took to the streets in downtown Billings today protesting county cuts to the Yellowstone Art Museum. The museum is facing a $170,000 shortfall, a 77% decrease from what it would typically receive. Tonight, Vanessa Willardson has more.
Upsetting news gathered these people together. They can't stand by and let a big budget cut just happen to the YAM.
It's not just a cut to the museum. A funding cut means less opportunities for the arts for our entire community. That stability and that consistency and being able to plan on those dollars is what makes those so important.
The county announced they're taking that stability away. For decades, the museum was receiving $220,000 each year. But that changed in 2025 when they got $188,000 for the year. Now, the county's proposed budget shows just $50,000 for the 2026 fiscal year.
We are one of the biggest sources of art education provided by the Yellowstone Art Museum for this county.
According to the museum board member, Susan Sullivan, the county's original $220,000 budget funds would only require $1.33 from each taxpayer in the county.
For $1.33, the YAM is giving education to the students. We're doing free education, free admission.
Yellowstone County Commissioner Mike Waters told MTN the budget cuts are redirecting money from the museum to public safety, like expanding the Yellowstone County Jail. He said, "We have also cut funding in areas like travel and training within county departments. While we do appreciate the value of the Yellowstone Art Museum, we have had to make painful adjustments to budgets in order to support our priority of public safety in Yellowstone County." But the Yellowstone Art Museum is the only museum receiving budget cuts out of the 4 museums funded by the county's museum budget.
We are a central part of downtown. We are a central part of the community.
A message county commissioners are going to hear on Tuesday when they open their meeting for public comment. In Billings, Vanessa Willardson, MTN News.
The suspect in a Montana mass shooting will be arraigned next Wednesday, more than a month after 4 people were gunned down inside Anaconda's Al Bar. Nearly all of the information in the case has remained a mystery, sealed to the public. Michael Paul Brown remains in custody in the Butte Silver Bow Detention Center. The state law says a judge can seal a record if information from a pretrial proceeding would create a clear and present danger to the fairness of a trial, or if law enforcement asks for a seal because of privacy concerns around a search warrant. Attorney Mike Malloy, who spent decades working on cases involving public records and Montana's right to know, says in this case, even the justification for sealing the case hasn't been available to the public. So it's hard to know yet what led to the decision.
When the parties, like the prosecution and the defense, all agree on something, it's hard for a judge to say no without hearing the alternative. And my guess is that in this case, no one came in on the side of the public saying, you can't do this, Judge. It's illegal. It's unconstitutional. If that had happened, I think the result might have been different. Because the law is pretty clear, I think.
Brown was captured August 8th after hiding out for a week after the shootings. An update on that bus crash that happened on Shiloh Road yesterday involving 4 Billings students, 3 of whom officials say were injured. The bus careened nearly 40 feet off the road into a ditch after a tire apparently blew out. Billings schools use First Student to run the district buses. They tell us the driver is on administrative leave while they do an internal review, and they're working closely with Montana State troopers who are investigating. A program that provides much needed therapy both inside and outside the hallways of Billings schools is going away at a time when some say it's needed more than ever. Charlie Kleps has more on why the program is being cut and why that has some, including the school superintendent, concerned.
You do this right here, you do this.
Michaela Sanderson's 10-year-old son, Kenton, needs a lot of attention.
He is a trauma-based kid, and so he just needs a lot of help.
And typically he gets that help here at the Yellowstone Boys and Girls Ranch, who have provided mental health services both inside and outside of the classroom for years.
They also have like occupational stuff, so they actually come to our house too.
It's part of the Comprehensive School and Community Services Program, which has long been offered in the hallways of Billings Public Schools.
That's his therapy. Those are his favorite people on the planet.
But now, due to cuts, that option won't be available. Something Kenton's mother, Michaela, says is a nightmare.
I was really angry because I just can't believe the fact that my son has built a relationship with these people for years, and those are some of his safest people that he can talk to, and now they're just going to be gone.
Superintendent Erwin Garcia explained that the budget was finalized for the year on Monday. When the cuts were announced, it was too late. Garcia also specified that the cuts will take effect at Orchard Elementary, Medicine Crow, and Castle Rock.
If kids aren't getting their mental health taken care of, then they're not going to care about school. They're not going to care about anything at that point.
Sanderson's concerns will also be felt by teachers.
There's so much being placed at the feet of educators right now.
Billings Education Association President Lance Edwards says the number one struggle teachers are having these days is assisting students with their mental health.
Well, the mental health aspect of teaching right now is very real for our students. That society demands, and it's being placed in squarely in education circles right now. And that's a difficult thing for teachers to fix.
Superintendent Garcia says they're committed to finding families other options.
I don't know what these kids are going to do or how they're going to manage school this year without them.
But Sanderson is worried, knowing how hard that void will be to replace with school quickly approaching.
I just hope that they can uphold everything that YBGR has.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
The Yellowstone Boys and Girls Ranch did acknowledge the changes, saying that these decisions are not made lightly, and adding that they'll continue to partner with the district in providing substance use prevention and counseling services directly in the school.
And good Friday evening, everyone. Still plenty of active weather with all this monsoonal moisture moving over Montana, and to a lesser extent northern Wyoming too. Some active weather for Gallatin County, Park County, pushing into Sweetgrass County too. Some thunderstorms over Bozeman, Livingston right now as well, pushing over the I-90 corridor between Livingston and Big Timber. So drive carefully if you're going to be heading out over the road the next 30 to 45 minutes. Still some more wet roads there. Less active weather though as we head toward Golden Valley County, Muscle County, even Yellowstone County. We had some showers and thunderstorms earlier. Now things are starting to quiet down. We still have that same line of rain showers, most of which is over Rosebud County right now. I'll have your forecast coming up.
President Trump is attempting to block billions of dollars in foreign aid approved by Congress and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention as a new boss after Trump fired the previous director. CBS's Erica Brown has more from the White House.
In this letter to House Speaker Mike Johnson, President Trump proposed steep cuts to spending already approved by Congress. In a rarely used maneuver known as a pocket rescission, the president is looking to rescind nearly $5 billion in spending to the State Department and foreign aid. The move has prompted bipartisan pushback from Capitol Hill and concerns of an eventual government shutdown. Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine said the move was a clear violation of the law and urged going through Congress to reduce excessive spending. President Trump's shakeup at the nation's public health agency has also sparked pushback and resignations. 4 top officials at the CDC resigned in protest after the Trump administration ousted Director Susan Menares.
We need a scientific leader at the agency, and without that, we knew that we couldn't continue.
The White House justified dismissing Menares less than a month after the Senate confirmed her to lead the agency.
The president has the authority to fire those who are not aligned with his mission.
Jim O'Neill, the deputy to Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., has been tapped to serve as interim director. Kennedy is set to testify before a Senate panel next week, where he will likely face questions about the sudden changes at the agency. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Well, the Labor Day weekend got off to a roaring start here in Billings tonight as hundreds of classic cars burned the point. People lining the streets outside the MTN building to watch as hot rods and vintage cars took over the streets. More than 500 classic cars and hot rods parading through downtown, carrying on that tradition of burning the point. There's also a car show starting at 10 tomorrow morning at Henry's Garage. It's $5 and it benefits the Chase Hawks Memorial Association.